Hello, America. Welcome to your weather forecast. My name is Mr. G. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great day today. I think today, I said that. Okay, I really said that. All right, so anyway, forget that. So, I think the camera's doing a much better job today. So, we're going to roll with that for now, that the camera's looking nice and crispy. But we got a weather forecast to talk about because the weather is not so crispy for some of you folks, especially across the nation's midsection. So the plains and the Midwest, we're seeing a lot of severe weather. We saw some crazy severe thunderstorms, some of those isolated severe storms that I forecasted yesterday. We saw those storms break out across the plains, South Dakota, down in through Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas as well. Some areas we saw some 3-inch diameter hail, so 3-inch hail. We saw 58 mile per hour winds in South Dakota and Nebraska. So a lot of severe weather was out there, even though it was more isolated. And we're going to talk more about that today. But we're going to take a look at our first map because we got more severe weather. I just pretty much expect as we go forward through the remainder of spring and summer, we're going to be talking about severe weather in the tropics. Nothing to talk about in the tropics yet because hurricane season doesn't start until June 1st. So we got a quiet situation across the tropics right now. But we do have severe weather that we're going to be seeing today across the Midwest and the plains. We're going to see it tomorrow across the southern plains up into the upper Mississippi River Valley and the Great Lakes. And we're going to see thunderstorms out across the Midwest and the Mississippi River Valley on Sunday. So we have 3 days of severe weather to talk about in this video. So we're going to talk about where the thunderstorms are right now, and they're moving across the Missouri and the Mississippi River Valley. So we have thunderstorms just to the west of St. Louis. So we have those storms headed into your area, and we're going to see those thunderstorms moving towards Chicago and Milwaukee. We have an area of thunderstorms, and heavy rain is associated with these storms. These are not like the storms that were forming yesterday across the high plains, those low precipitation thunderstorms. We're going to talk about that near the end of this video today, but we are looking at some heavy rain as we have a nice linear line of thunderstorms here moving across the upper Midwest. We have our thunderstorm line here moving out of Missouri into Illinois. Then we got one in northern Illinois heading towards Indiana and Lake Michigan. We're going to be seeing those thunderstorms eventually cross the lake into Michigan. So if you are in Saginaw or Traverse City, Miles City, so if you're in western Michigan, expect to see these thunderstorms come your way later this afternoon. So those will be coming at you with some heavy rain and the potential for tornadoes as well, and damaging winds and some hail. So be looking forward to that coming at you later this afternoon and into the evening hours. And we have a tornado watch in effect down across the southern plains. So Texas and Oklahoma, we got a tornado watch in effect near Dallas, Killeen, Lufkin, Waco, Killeen, Texas, Tyler, Texarkana, McAllister, and Antlers, Oklahoma. And that's going to be into 11. It says 11. It's been reissued, so we still have that tornado watch in effect. And that's going to be in effect until, the northern one is expired, but this one in effect until 6 o'clock tonight. We have that tornado watch in effect across northeastern Texas. So tomorrow, severe thunderstorm is going to be across the upper Midwest. So Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas. We're going to be seeing some severe thunderstorms. A lot of thunderstorms there for the Dallas area, Oklahoma City, Wichita, Kansas City, as well as the Quad Cities in Des Moines, you guys are going to be really in the bullseye where we have the 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather in that region. So, and what that really means is that it's talking about coverage. The 1 out of 5 is the isolated thunderstorms, borderline severe. They're kind of on the border of being severe. So they're strong thunderstorms, maybe even low grade severe. We're going to be seeing those with the category 1, and they're generally isolated. 2 is they're a little bit stronger, maybe a little bit more numerous. So scattered thunderstorms. And then in category 3, we have more numerous thunderstorms, and they are a little bit more intense as well. So it speaks to coverage and intensity. And you get all the way up to 4 and 5, and then extreme. That's when all hell breaks loose, and we got tornadoes dropping everywhere, and there are a lot of F3s and F4s, and the whole world is being ripped apart. That's very, very rare to see. So those we're not going to be talking about that, because right now we're maxing out at a 3. So we're going to roll with rocking with a category 3 range for severe weather today across the upper Midwest here and across for today and tomorrow. So for your Saturday, this is the upper air pattern. We have a strong jet stream, an intense jet stream with a nice trough over the southwest, looking at all of the energy rounding in the base of that trough, and that's going to lead to a double barrel low pressure systems across the southern plains and into the upper Midwest. We're going to see one area of low pressure develop across the Oklahoma area in Texas, and then the other one will be near Iowa and Minnesota. So a double barrel with 2 areas of low pressure. So we're going to see a lot of rain and a lot of thunderstorms. So the second dip in the second dip in the jet stream will pivot into the plains, and that's going to bring with it some colder air on the backside of that trough, and some that severe weather, and some more snow across eastern parts of west central Colorado. So if you're in the mountains, you're going to see snow. I don't think we're going to see snow in the Denver area this time, so that's some good news. So for Saturday, we're going to see storms will fire along in the head of the dry line. So more dry line thunderstorms. And remember what I told you about dry line thunderstorms is they tend to be isolated, single cell, discrete thunderstorms. So we don't typically see linear thunderstorms. It's not a squall line. It's not a line of thunderstorms. They're kind of spotted around, scattered here and there. So we're going to see that, and those storms will likely be severe. So we have a lot of low level moisture over here across the Mississippi River Valley area. So Missouri, Illinois, down through Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Right in this region is where the Gulf moisture is going to focus. But we got some moisture, but not a whole lot that we're going to see a lot in the way of rainfall in this area on Saturday. The rain will really break out over the eastern areas of the Midwest in the Ohio Valley as we head into the weekend. So again, we got the winds up at 10,000 feet, and that's going to be coming from the south here, mid-level winds. So we have the winds at the surface coming from the southwest. So we have a southeasterly component, and we got a southwesterly component, and that's going to create spin in the atmosphere, and that's going to be our wind shear threat, and that's going to really increase near the low pressure center at our triple point. So we have the dry line, we have the warm front here in the upper Midwest here. We have our dry line across the plains, but extending back across the southern Rockies is where the cold front is, and the cold front is going to overrun the dry line as we head into the weekend. So the cold front will eventually make the dry line non-existent or a non-factor in this scenario. But for Saturday, today and Saturday, the dry line will be a major component in the severe weather setup across the plains today. Alright, so as we head into Saturday, our cold front there. See, we don't see the dry line anymore. The dry line is history. Now we have our cold front, we got our low pressure center, and we got a warm front across the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. The warm fronts will have some thunderstorms as well, but a lot of mostly rain, general rain, non-severe thunderstorms. There'll be some isolated, strong to severe storms, but that's going to be mostly the catalyst for heavy rainfall along the warm front. More light to moderate rain will be more the feature along the warm front, but the cold front will be the focus for vertical updrafts. So severe weather along the cold front and near the low pressure center, we're going to see the twist. Most of the tornadoes is going to take place in Iowa, Illinois, and Missouri. Is where I think we have the greatest risk of the tornadoes, because that's where the low pressure center is, and that's where a lot of the spin is in the atmosphere. So we're going to be seeing that as where the threat for the tornadoes are going to be into Sunday. Here is our severe weather threat for today. We have a 1 in 5 chance for severe weather from Waco down through San Antonio and Eagle Point or Eagle Pass here, and then from Dallas up to Kansas City, St. Louis, we have a 2 in 5 chance. But then it gets a 3 in 5 chance for severe weather in the Des Moines area and northwestern Kansas City to Des Moines. Excuse me. We have that 3 in 5 chance for severe thunderstorms, and then we have a 1 in 5 chance Sioux Falls and into Minnesota. We have the potential for isolated severe storms in the upper Mississippi River Valley through Minnesota and Wisconsin. And Friday night, again, tonight we're going to see severe thunderstorms breaking out across the Midwest. So Kansas City, Oklahoma City, Dallas, Little Rock, St. Louis, Chicago, all of us, we're going to see severe thunderstorms. Even up into Minnesota, we have the potential for thunderstorms. But again, like I said, if you have the warm front in your area, it's going to be a little bit more gentle than what's going on down near the cold front. The cold front is where things are going to be a bit more violent and a bit more upheaval in the atmosphere. But this will be more widespread rainfall. So Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Northern Kentucky, Ohio, Michigan, Ontario, Canada, Wisconsin is where we're going to see more general rain and some isolated thunderstorms with an occasional storm reaching severe levels. But if you are in the red zones here, you're going to get your butts kicked. It's going to be rocking and rolling. Oklahoma City and Dallas, even up into Kansas City, St. Louis as well. It's just to the west of you, but it'll be heading your way on Saturday. So we're going to see the more of those severe thunderstorms on your Friday night there. But again, they're going to be isolated. So not everybody is going to get a thunderstorm, but you have that possibility. The conditions are favorable for severe thunderstorms, but a lot of things have to take place in order for it to actually happen. And with that, we deal with a lot of CAPE in this scenario as well. So CAPE is dry air at the middle and upper levels of the atmosphere, which can inhibit thunderstorm growth. So that can limit your cloud tops if you have a lot of CAPE, and that can prevent the thunderstorms from developing. But if those updrafts can break through the cap, then that's when the storms tend to be the most severe, because it takes violence to break through the cap. So once it breaks through the cap, it just breaks loose, and there's nothing to hold it back now, because now you have a depleted cap. If you build a thunderstorm without the cap, you won't see the storms be as violent, because they didn't have to fight through the cap. So it doesn't necessarily make them weaker. You would think that it would make it weaker, but it doesn't. It actually makes the thunderstorms more potent that way. Again, for your Saturday, our greatest threat for severe weather: Dallas, Oklahoma City, Wichita, Springfield, and Kansas City, Missouri is where we have that 3 and 5 chance for severe weather. And we're going to see the tornadoes, damaging winds, large hail, gusty, heavy rain as well. But again, we're going to be looking at isolated to scattered severe storms in this region, but more consistent, moderate to heavy rainfall in the upper Midwest and in the Great Lakes, which is our warm front, will be up there. So we will see more consistent rain, general thunderstorms with isolated embedded severe storms in those regions. Again, here we are for Saturday. Am I going backwards here? Let me make sure I'm not going. Yeah, I am going backwards. Okay, here we go for. No, we're going backwards now. I need to keep going forward. We're moving forward with our lives. This is Sunday. Sunday, it goes down a little bit in intensity. So now we have a 2 in 5 chance for severe weather for a very large portion of the Mississippi River Valley. Not so much the plains anymore. Now we're over the more green areas of the Mississippi River Valley and the Ozarks. So northeastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma, Arkansas, eastern Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Minnesota tend to be more green because they tend to get more rainfall throughout the year in that region. And we also see a lot of snow in the winters in this region, so it tends to be more green. So we're going to see a lot of rain in this region. Sunday, heavy rain is going to be the biggest function or feature with the severe weather. Tornadoes will still be possible, damaging winds and large hail, but it's going to rain hard on Sunday. And we're going to pick up like 5 inches of rain in a lot of this area right here from Texas up into the upper Midwest, into Wisconsin and Minnesota. We're going to pick up several inches of rain this week, so get ready for that. Again, flash flooding is going to be a possible threat down across North Texas and central Oklahoma, all the way up into Wisconsin and Iowa. We're going to see the potential for flash flooding as we head through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Here is the rainfall forecast for this weekend. Look at this, Thursday through Sunday, around from Des Moines, southern Wisconsin. So we're talking about not Milwaukee, but what's the state capital of Wisconsin? Starts with I can't remember the state capital, but in that region, south central Wisconsin, where the state capital is, Kansas City, Springfield, Missouri, Oklahoma City, Little Rock. You guys are going to see that area that could pick up 5 inches or more of rain. So very heavy rain. And then check out the snow west of Denver in the Rockies and the northern Rockies of New Mexico. We got some snow in northeastern Colorado, Wyoming, and Utah as well. We're going to see the potential for some snow in southern Idaho, but not a whole bunch of snow, but some snow is going to be possible, a few inches. So if you're in those regions, be ready for that. Okay, so remember, I've been talking a lot about these low precipitation supercell thunderstorms across places like this. Now look how flat this is. Look at how clear this is. I don't think this is it might be I can't really tell if it's a computer generated animation. Is really goddamn good if it is. But this is a really good depiction of a low precipitation supercell. See, if you can see, there might be some precipitation here. It looks a little gray, but it might just be the clouds blocking the sun, the shadow from the clouds. But it looks like it's just a shadow. But this is a good example of a low precipitation thunderstorm. Those are severe storms that don't produce a lot of heavy rain. You might see some hail, but it's going to be individual hail just falling randomly. It's not going to be like heavy rain mixed with the hail or anything like that. But you might see some hail especially if this guy forms a tornado. Our tornado would drop down somewhere right about in here. This is what our wall cloud, this is called a wall cloud or a mesolow. And if you had to see this in animation, you would see this thing spinning. You would see that spinning. It's called a mesolow. So these guys are usually rotating. The rotating wall cloud, that's what that is. You see the anvil up there, that's where the thunderstorm hits the top of the stratos, hits the top of the troposphere at the tropopause, because it can't go any higher, so it spreads out. It gets what's called an anvil. And you might even, in some of the most severe and the most aggressive thunderstorms, you see a type of cloud called mammatus. They look like little tits hanging from the cloud. You'll see what those are called mammatus. You often see those with really severe thunderstorms, and they hit all of these points here. But this is, and you notice that this, and then you notice another thing that's significant about these types of thunderstorms is the updraft is leaning. You notice it's not vertically straight, but that lean is what separates the downdraft from the updraft. This is what makes these types of storms last a long time, because if it was vertically stacked, the downdraft would suppress the updraft and it will kill your storm. But that lean separates. Now we have an updraft here, right? And then the downdraft here. If it's raining, it's going to be over here, right? The rainfall would be here. This is the air coming down from the base of the clouds, and this is the air spreading out, creates what's called outflow boundaries, because it's outflow from the downdraft spreading out along the ground, and those outflow boundaries can spread out around the storm and flow into areas that haven't had storms, but is unstable, but it can help to create new updrafts and create a gust front, and it can cause new thunderstorms to develop around this storm. So it can make for a cluster of thunderstorms, and if that progresses, then that can increase into what's called a mesoscale convective system. This is how MCSs are born. They are born from a single cell, a very active single cell thunderstorm, that its various wind currents and patterns from outdrafts, downdrafts, create other thunderstorms in the environment around it that hasn't had any inclement weather to to settle the atmosphere to make things stable. Once you have the thunderstorm, the atmosphere then stabilizes. But until you do, it's an unstable air mass, so the area around it can become convective as well. All right, so this is a big boy. This one is a heavy, a high percent. So this is an HP supercell. The other one was a low P supercell. HP is a high precipitation supercell. These are typically very large, the high precipitation supercells. And look at this guy. You see it here? You can see the anvil there. You can see it's dark underneath. You see that air upflow, those updrafts. You can see the heavy rain. But this here is a diagram of what you see of some of these supercell thunderstorms. You see, this is where your wall cloud is, the mesolow, and there's the updraft, there's a funnel cloud, but here is where your rain. But you notice the rain falls from way up in the anvil at the top of the cloud, falls through the cloud. This is where the hail forms and the heavy rain and the downdraft. So you got downdraft here, updraft there. Then you have others developing that might develop into more storms. So you have cumulus congestus. This is your cumulonimbus, cumulus congestus, cumulus mediocris, and cumulus humilis. So this is the various stages of severe thunderstorm development. Again, this is what it would look like if you was to flatten it out. Now this light rain here, this is the anvil. This is the direction that the thunderstorm is moving. So if it's looking at this, to say this is the northeast, this thunderstorm is moving in the northeast. These fronts right here are outflow boundaries fronts. These are main gust fronts. So you have this gust front, but it's also the inflow for the updraft. The updraft is right there. This is your forward flanking downdraft. This is your RFD, rear flanking downdraft. If you watch guys like Reed Timmer and the Storm Chasers when they're doing their thing, you'll hear them yelling out, RFD, RFD. RFD is very dangerous. RFD can also be mistaken for a tornado because it involves very gusty winds. So the rear flank downdraft or the forward flank downdraft, here's where the heavy rain and hail is in this supercell thunderstorm. And then we have more moderate rain because the clouds are a little bit thinner, but the light rain is because sometimes rain even still falls from the anvil. So this is what the dissected severe thunderstorm looks like. So that is your weather forecast for today. A long video because this is pretty serious stuff we're talking about here. My name is Mr. G. Thank you for watching me. Leave your likes, comments, and subscribe to the channel. This is my favorite part of meteorology. It's the severe weather. That's where I want to focus my career, is studying severe thunderstorms and things like that. So this is why I'm passionate about this part of meteorology, if you haven't noticed in the last couple of videos. So anyway, subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on TikTok. I feel like my voice was better today, so that's good news. And the camera's not blurry either. That's good news. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Sometimes I think it's just shocked by the lighting. The studio lights in here is very bright, so I don't know why it does that, but sometimes it's cool. Some days it's just act stupid. But anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow in the next video and on Sunday again, because we're going to have severe weather over the whole weekend, so we got to talk about it. All right? Bye-bye.